I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Miami Dolphins. With that, let's get down to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. The excitement brewing here in South Florida as a moment ago the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with the Washington Redskins. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. Happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and we are underway from Miami. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a first-round pick in 2019 from Ohio State. It's Dwayne Haskins. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. That's going to be caught by Richardson. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down. Here's the offense, and when you talk about this offense, you certainly have to talk about all-day AP, Adrian Peterson.
Does not shy away from contact. Also has the speed to go the distance. It's the rare combination that you get from one of the great runners of all time in the NFL. 2,000 yards every year is the goal. I'd never bet against him.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. 3rd down, here's Haskins. And this is going to be incomplete. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a 4th down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. Back deep is Trevor Davis. Fielded just inside the 30. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. Leading them out is going to be their quarterback. That's the grizzled vet, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
One thing that I think Ryan Fitzpatrick doesn't get enough credit for is his toughness. This is a guy who plays through injuries, but it's also being mentally tough, knowing that everyone's always trying to move him out of the lineup, trying to find a replacement for him, yet he continues to battle and has earned the total respect of his teammates.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. And here is the Redskin defense.
Landon Collins is built like your typical tackle-first safety, but he does have the ability to play the deep part of the field.
The Redskins on 3rd down, putting an extra man here in the secondary. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. Going deep here for Parker. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4 down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And let's run through the Dolphins' defense.
One of the more underrated yet valuable positions in the NFL is safety, and Rashad Jones epitomizes what you're looking for. A guy who can drop down into the box in the run game and tackle those bigger, stronger running backs. He can also cover people, whether it's tight ends or bigger slot guys, and that gives him the ability to stay on the field every down and make big plays.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Check.
Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. Got a man out of the backfield. It's Chris Thompson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
A first carry now for Adrian Peterson. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To Thompson on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
On 3rd down, Haskins. Complete. Richardson has it. 21 yards there on 3rd down. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Past the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson. 48 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They run it with Balaj. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to have a 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On play action, Fitzpatrick. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200+ right now. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Thompson. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. He was looking for Paul Richardson there. And it's 3rd and 4.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Haskins. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 2nd and 9. Fitzpatrick got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Mike Gesicki, 32 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are, but that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws, they become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL evolves.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now, so you're not protecting the lead, so you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again, so maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Haskins will throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, and it's third down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start on the ground with Balaj. It was Jonathan Bostic there on the stop.
Though they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Check 53. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check 8.
Now a handoff looking right. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Play fake. It's Fitzpatrick. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
This quarterback now Already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete here. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
A draw play now, Balaj. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. To throw, Fitzpatrick. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. A 33-yarder from the left hash. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins have taken the lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Davis now to return it. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And that will come the offense as they take over. And we'll see what the big tight end Mike Gesicki and the rest of the offense has in store. And some of his highlights here from this game, he's nearing 100 yards, partner.
And defensive works so hard at how to try to slow down tight ends. It was a lot easier, partner, in the old days, because when they just lined up on the line of scrimmage, you either put a defensive end or a linebacker over them and tried to body them so they couldn't get off the line of scrimmage easy.
And now?
Now, when they split out, detach from the line of scrimmage, you put a linebacker out there, they're often too elusive for them, shake them and get into the secondary too easily before someone else can try and pick them up.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now Balaj. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
3rd and short yardage, Fitzpatrick. And that will be incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. 23 yards on the play. On that catch, he's already eclipsed 100 yards here in the first quarter. Charles, he's on pace for over 400.
And playing with great confidence, isn't he? I think he probably had it coming into the game, and now that he's really come out of the gate this strongly, how'd you like to be in the huddle with him right now? You know he's demanding the
Give
football.
me the ball.
And guess what? I'd throw it to him. He's having a fantastic game, and they haven't defended him yet.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a run with Geis. Vince Beagle, the one to bring him down.
Nice job by the defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1 yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
To throw on 3rd down. Haskins. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
53, Mike.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete. And just 1 tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this 1st quarter. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this 1st quarter of play. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Fitzpatrick. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been terrific so far. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Jerome Baker there on the tackle. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They run with Thompson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here's Tressway now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Returnable here for Davis. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Watch the pass.
Balaj. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
some of the most unselfish players on any football team? Defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The Dolphins on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. That's pulled in at the 32. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 35 yards that time on the punt. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now.
Check back.
On 2nd down, Peterson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Haskins out of the gun. And he finds McLaurin. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 yards that time at a Washington 1st. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Haskins now 8 of 17 so far, so under 50%, but he's got a 1st and 10. Now a give to Peterson running right. And the running lane's non-existent in this 1st half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Haskins. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there. And it's 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 14. And finding Davis here, the tight end. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So now on 4th down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And that will knot us up at 10. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this.
On 2nd down, Fitzpatrick again. On the right side, open is Gesicki. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. The Dolphins on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Throwing Fitzpatrick. It's complete to Grant. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
This quarterback now 8 of 17 so far, under 50%. Fitzpatrick now from the 50. He's got his man on the crossing route. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he's got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Check 43.
Now a give, right side. Laird. The safety Landon Collins there to make the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Mike, 20. 55. Watch the curve.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped close to the first down marker at about the Redskins' 23.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. And a give this time to the tailback. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Exit. Let's go. Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
They'll try to throw here. Fitzpatrick over the middle, and it's incomplete. Parker the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield, and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. Sort of interesting going with a draw play there. Do you like that call?
I don't, but it would be a lot more powerful coming from me if I'd said it before the play actually happened, if I'd first guessed it. But look, a draw in that situation, heavy risk reward. If he walks in, it looks like a great call, doesn't it?
Yeah, instead brings up a tough 4th down. They come out here in the eye. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Second and goal from the 6 this time.
We ain't giving up nothing today.
Fitzpatrick to throw it. This will be caught at about the 5. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Now in this situation, how about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown as his guys are able to regain the lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed, way harder to cover than before.
Sanders on for the extra point. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's doing his job, but the bottom line, they're losing. They've got a deficit to make up here, and he knows it.
And quarterbacks who last in this league learn that lesson really early. You may have had a great stat line and felt pretty good about how you played, but if your team didn't win, It almost doesn't matter. And right now he's adopted that attitude. How do I get better? How does my team get better? How do we find a way to win the game?
Now he's hoping to lead his team to a successful drive.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Let's go now. 55 check 55 to Mike. I got one.
They'll run on first down. Thompson. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
All day, dog.
Now a give, right side. It's Thompson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. The Redskins on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. On the ground, it's Thompson. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On 2nd down, it's Peterson. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime preview. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
But, you know, writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Goddard.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
On first down, Thompson. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 23-yard line.
Let's go. Here we go, Gary. Strong left, strong left.
On 2nd and 7, Haskins. And he hits the tight end. It's Davis. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. first down. It's Haskins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. Haskins completes it to Davis. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. 3rd down. Here's Haskins. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Hopkins' kick is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. And this time they'll just keep this on the ground. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Final play of the half, Fitzpatrick. And this is Parker, complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Check 180. Check 53. Smart. In your face. Let's go.
They'll run here with Bovada. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kalen Ballage, 67 yards. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From the 30 on second down, Haskins connects here with a tight end, Jeremy Sprinkle. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 yards there, good for a Redskin first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, and now it's second down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. A 10th carry now for Peterson. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Haskins to throw. This one caught by Davis. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
Yeah, they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your counting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence. If they just get their assignments down, they would get in sync with their runners, and off they went. 3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Let's go, D.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
The tackle by Cole Holcomb.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Oh, here we go. Oh, check. Lucky.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Watch us slap.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's Matt Hawk now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. Let's see if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. Off the play fake. Here's Haskins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it there to Vernon Davis, the tight end. And it's 3rd and short. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, it's Haskins. Open man is Quinn, able to connect. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Haskins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Haskins on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Wilkins in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And some room to maneuver.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense.
Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
Let's go. 52 right here. 52. Focus, defense, focus.
They go play action now. Haskins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. What did you see there, Charles, on that interception from the rookie?
They've shown him certain looks on defense throughout the first half, and they pulled the string here in the second half because he got used to those looks, and they showed the exact same thing, but changed it up just a little bit where he thought something was open, and now with the change in defense, it no longer was.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Laird, and the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. Montez Sweat in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On 2nd and 7, Haskins. It's caught by Davis. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. From the gun, Haskins on third down. Open man, it's Vernon Davis. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor, and it's a first down.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route. But he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
Throwing now, Haskins on first down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Coverage that time by Bobby McCain.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Haskins. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory right at the 40. On the carry, Thompson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They go with Thompson again, and he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Watch the pass.
Play action. Haskins. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Here's Haskins. Complete. Richardson has it. And he will not get what he needed as he stops short of the first down at around the 22. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up a big seam, and he might go all the way. He's at the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. In for the score. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Sanders on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is taken near the 13. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Haskins. And finding Davis here, the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. from the gun on 3rd down. Haskins. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Miami. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. 4th down. Here's Haskins. And he finds McLaurin. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Haskins. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw again on 2nd down. Haskins firing quickly here, and that's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Second down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Third and 2, now Haskins. And he hits the tight end, it's Davis. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day offense. It's going to be a long day.
Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. He's got it complete to Thompson. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They run it here with Thompson. And he'll get this down close to a 1st down at about the Dolphins' 22.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Haskins on 3rd down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And it's a 1st down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Haskins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And Hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
You must be dreaming.
Following the interception here, Fitzpatrick. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
Third and 6.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Off the edge, the sack by Matt Ioannidis.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here's Matt Hawk now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity.
53, Mike. Hey, let's get this.
They'll run on first down. Laird, and he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. On third down, Laird, and he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Mike, 20! Mike. Watch the pass!
Now a play fake here on first down. incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Let's go, let's go.
Mike 20.
Mike, number 53. Mike 53.
I'm on.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And all the way down to the 37. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Redskins' 37-yard line.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
First seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Laird, and tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. They'll stay on the ground. Balaj again. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. Well, one of the few things that's gone right for them. Likely a little too late, but maybe a little feather in their cap.
I think so, and to me, they played that play without looking at the scoreboard, without worrying about where they were in the score, because things haven't gone right, as you noted, for them much of this game, but they gave great effort there and picked up a defense that's had its share of troubles in this one.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one, but let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Haskins.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. 3rd down. Here's Haskins. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Redskins have the first down on a pickup of 18. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Haskins will throw. They will find Davis. That's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got?
Haskins back to the air. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A Redskin first down. The pickup 15 yards.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Set, ready. 15 running. 15 running. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go. Here we go.
On first down, it's Thompson. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? From the gun, it's Haskins. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Jeremy Sprinkle there to make the grab. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. Solid response that time by a young quarterback. Last drive, interception. This drive, the touchdown pass.
I like how you described it, solid, because you don't get extra kudos for bouncing back if you're going to be a big-time quarterback. You're supposed to do that. But at the same time, when you're a rookie, that's not guaranteed, is it? Sometimes they hang their heads and they go in the tank a little bit. Not in this case. Bounce back, took his team downfield, and threw a touchdown pass.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Dolphins are going to recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Now Fitzpatrick. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Intended for number 18. Incomplete. Brings up third down and 13.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. Open man, it's Preston Williams. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
So they're challenging the spot. If you're a coach, you hesitate to throw the flag anytime it's a spot discernment.
You certainly do, because you feel like that's not one you're likely to win, and you may need that challenge flag for later in the game.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! 180!
The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, and then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
53, Mike 53. And it's getting him home.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he stopped immediately there.
Easy one.
Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll keep it on the ground. Laird. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. Sanders' kick is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here's Haskins and the Redskins. Down by 2 touchdowns. 1:47 on the clock. Field goals, useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. Haskins on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to the safety, Rashad Jones.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go. Another try after the first down sack. Haskins, and this is going to be incomplete.
When we start looking for big-time corners, we're going to start with athleticism, but without technique, you're not going to make plays as one we just saw there.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Haskins, third and long. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw for it with Haskins. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. Victory very likely now for the Dolphins as they take a knee here.
A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and 13.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. To a knee goes Fitzpatrick, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Taking it about the 16.
We got this.
Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaughan. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins are winners here as we say so long from South Florida.